Let me tell you a story. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him. Another him under the bed, just staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." The doctors told the amputee he might experience a phantom limb from time to time. Nobody prepared him for the moments, though, when he felt cold fingers brush across his phantom hand. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. She wondered why she was casting two shadows. After all, there was only a single light bulb. It sat on my shelf, with thoughtless porcelain eyes and the prettiest pink doll dress I could find. Why does she have to be a stillborn? My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help. My wife woke me up last night to tell me there was an intruder in our house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. You hear your mom calling you into the kitchen. As you are heading down the stairs, you hear a whisper from the closet, "Don't go down there, honey." I heard it too. They delivered the mannequins in bubble wrap. From the main room, I begin to hear popping. They say a shiver down your spine means that someone's walking over your future burial site. As my husband walks around outside gardening, the shiver won't stop. "I've missed you so much," I whispered as she removed her clothes to take a shower. Watching her through the binoculars was painful, but at least I'd found where her new house was. "We found your daughter," the officer said as he drew an X on the map. And then he drew another, and another, and another. "Officer, I just looked away for a second, and my baby was gone," I sobbed helplessly. "That's better." I sounded more convincing this time, I thought with a smile as I finally picked up the phone to call the police. I decided to kill off a few characters in the book I'm writing. It would definitely spice up my autobiography a little. "I can't sleep," she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. The covers are always a safe place in my bed. Everyone's out and I'm home alone. I slip between the covers, trying not to think bad thoughts. In complete darkness, I whisper to myself, "It is stupid that I'm afraid." "Don't worry, friend. They can't get us in here," it whispers back. "Don't be scared of the monsters. Just look for them. Look to your left To your right, under your bed, behind your dresser, and in your closet, but never look up. She hates being seen. I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me. As the first shovel of dirt landed on my chest, I finally managed to whisper, "I'm not dead." At first, I thought they hadn't heard me, but then one of them smiled and said, "We know." Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sound of scratching my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it's much more unsettling. The grinning face stared at me from the darkness beyond my bedroom window. I live on the 14th floor. The longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin. Sleep did not come easily to me that night in the cabin in the woods, for the portraits on the wall only portrayed the deformed, the decrepit, and the damned. Sleep has never come easily to me ever again, for when I had woke up, I found no portraits, only windows. My sister says that Mommy killed her. Mommy says that I don't have a sister. My grandmother told me that it was a gift to see the angel of death in front of people's houses, to know that he'd be collecting someone there soon. I thought it was a gift too, up until the day I began to see it in front of every house. My mother always told me there was nothing there in the dark that wasn't there in the light. That made me wonder if she could see them too. Funerals have always been hard for me. After a while, I decided it was just easier to kill strangers. My wife is a liar. She said till death do us part, but I still can't get rid of her. My dad always told me that if I was going to kill something, then I'd better be prepared to eat it. Between my mama's old cookbook and the extra large crock pot I got on sale, I've been able to manage so far. My mother taught me how to get blood out of almost anything when I was young. It's proven to be an invaluable skill. When you need a transplant as badly as I did, you don't ask who it came from. After the craving started, though, I had my share of questions. I have a friend named Charlie. I'm playing at his house, but it's cold down here in the basement. I wonder when Charlie will let me go home.